Hey guys, Ian here. I guess I'm going to call this another kind of GM Insight video. This one has some spoilers in it, so if you're interested in ever running or playing, well no, not running, but if you're interested in playing in the adventure module titled The God That Crawls, it's written for Lamentations of the Flame Princess by James Edward Radke IV. However, having said that, like all the Lamentations modules, they could probably be easily translated into any OSR game, and pretty easily translated to any game at all. You could run it in D&D 5e, or, you know, hell, I mean, you could probably try to run it in something like Fate, or if you're running some fantasy version of Fate, or whatever, too. So, The God That Crawls is what I'm going to talk about. It's an adventure module for Lamentations that I've run twice now for two different groups. Very, very interesting. It's really pretty dark and pretty intense, pretty lethal. It involves the characters discovering secrets beneath an old church in a small English town. A church where the church itself, the Catholic Church, has hidden, you know, lots of old artifacts and relics, many of which are controversial or dangerous, etc. There's lots of treasure hidden down there. There's lots of magical items, lots of potions and scrolls and all kinds of things. And there's also a horrible, horrible ooze slash slime slash almost Shoggoth-like creature down there. I won't go into too much detail because I could spend the whole video talking about what the creature is and why it's there, etc. It doesn't matter. Bottom line is, the group ends up down in this pit and have to try to work and find their way out of this catacomb-like level. It's got 3 levels of the actual dungeon itself. Excuse me, a little bit of reflux there. 3 levels of the dungeon itself, and then the church above it would be like the 4th level. And it's raining very hard. Hope that's not too loud for you guys. So, 2 groups went through it. Both had very different outcomes in a sense. But one thing that both groups had in common is that neither one of them ever really got into the depths of the dungeon or found the bulk of the treasure within it, or any of the really cool, weird, you know, Lamentation-style magic items. Neither group found them, and I think part of the reason why, and this is a, you know, Lamentations is an OSR game. It's meant to bring back that old school feeling. I don't give the players a map. They have to map it out themselves. And if you want to map in Lamentations, you have to move at exploration speed, which is a standard speed of about 120 feet per turn. That's every 10 minutes, right? So you're moving like 12 feet per minute. The reason for that is, at exploration speed, you're looking for hidden treasure caches, you're looking for any kind of signs or anything, you know, related to traps or things of that sort. You are in, you know, generally a dungeon type area, either a hostile environment or just a dark environment. It's hard to see. It's probably really filthy. You probably got to clear detritus and stuff out of your way as you go, etc. I suppose if you were in a jungle, you could say you're hacking through the bush and you know, whatever. This one was in a subterranean dungeon. And also, you're trying to map it as you go, and that takes time. So that's why exploration speed is what it is. Neither one of my groups did a very good job of mapping. In fact, I think the first group didn't map at all. The second group, one guy tried to map, and tried to do so using the computer, doing it on like a, I don't know, like a paint program or something like that. I don't know exactly what he was using. But he quickly got frustrated and gave up on it. And the group also rather rapidly decided, once they encountered the creature in the dungeon, that they needed to move faster than exploration speed, so mapping would have been impossible to continue at that stage anyway. The way I portrayed this in the game, when they were briefly mapping, I was giving them exact details of where they were, how many feet they go before there's a turn, in which direction, how many openings are there, how big are they, how high are the ceilings, everything. I was giving everything also in, you know, you travel 30 feet north, 20 feet west, etc. when they were mapping. When they ceased mapping, I you know, to reflect that, I made things a lot more chaotic, in that I kept saying things like, okay, you run, and then there's a turn to the right. I didn't give them any distances. I didn't give them any more, you know, specific directions. I said, okay, you can go right or left. Which way do you want to go? You know, okay, you can either continue on straight or you can turn right. Didn't tell them how far they'd gone. I didn't tell them which way was north, east, south, west, and they quickly got it confused and forgot too, which was nice. It was perfect. This is the way I wanted it to be. But yeah, so they end up lost in this dungeon, running for their lives and just trying to find a way out. In both scenarios, they were trying so hard to find their way out that they didn't really, you know, and maybe this is, you know, sensible on their part, they didn't explore too much of the dungeon. They didn't bother looking for too much treasure or finding, even though both groups had some suspicion that there were powerful relics and valuable treasures down in these crypts below, or the catacombs below this church. Neither group really spent too much time trying to find them. They just tried to get out. The first group, they all died. There was 3 people in that group. There was a bit of misadventure. I know John Drury will probably do a more specific video about this, and I'll let him do it, so I won't give away too much details. But the first 2 people in the group died of their own misadventure, and the third person just kind of ran around in circles trying to find a way out of the dungeon until he was finally overcome by the creature therein. The second group that I ran through, they found a kind of a shortcut. They found a clue that gives you the shortcut on how to get out of the dungeon. They very cleverly figured it out themselves. You know, all through roleplay, they did a great job on that. Unfortunately, the way was blocked by the creature for a while, so they kind of ended up running around in circles through the dungeon for a while until they found their starting point again. And the group got separated. One guy ended up off by himself without a torch or anything, wandering through dark catacombs, only able to find his way around by his sense of touch and sound, or hearing, I guess. You know, that was kind of fun to explain. Troy was the player for that. That was quite interesting. And much to their good fortune, they did eventually reunite back at the main entrance chamber where they first came into the dungeon. And from there, they were able to retrace their steps and figure out, using the shortcut, the way out. And they did. They got out, 4 of them. 1 of them died, again, due to misadventure. But 4 of them got out alive. And then, in murder hobo style, which seems to be the way these guys like to play Lamentations, they, you know, basically locked everyone in the church, went around, ransacked all the houses in the village, and burned the village to the ground, and left laughing. Well, maybe not laughing, but yeah. So, 2 different groups, 2 different results, but both groups not going deep enough into the dungeon to find any of the really cool, really weird, magical shit that lies therein. So I'm going to have to run it again, I think, for another group sometime. I'll probably have to go to either, you know, the Facebook group or Google Plus group and just find more people that want to try out an OSR game, maybe try out a horrific dungeon crawl, and see if they have any better luck finding any of this stuff. Because I'd really like to see some of this stuff, you know, come into play and see what people do with it. But the Guide That Crawls, definitely worth checking out. You can buy it. I think they still have it available on the LOTFP website. Just Google search Lamentations of the Flame Princess. You should be able to find their official website. I think you can also get it on DriveThruRPG in PDF form anyway. Yeah, I think it's definitely worth checking out. I will run it again. I think, actually, many of my players, I think they've expressed an interest in possibly running it in different systems as well for other people that they play with. So, yeah, have a look. Have a look at Lamentations of the Flame Princess as well, because the rules are available for free on DriveThruRPG.com. I think you can get them for free on their official website as well, in PDF form with no artwork. So, you know, it costs you nothing to check it out. Also, the referee book, if you're a GM and if you want to run Lamentations, or even if you're a GM and you don't want to run Lamentations, I found some very valuable information in this book. The Grindhouse edition of Lamentations of the Flame Princess referee book is available for free, at least on DriveThruRPG. I think also on their official website, because the referee book for the newest edition of the rules hasn't been written yet, and James Edward Raggy IV, creator of Lamentations, he wanted a referee book to be available to people who are playing the game. So that's really cool of him. You know, there's a lot of free stuff out there you can check out. I checked it out for free first, then I bought the PDF version, and then I bought the print version. I should have gone the other way around, because if you buy the print version from the official site, James will give you the PDF version for free. So, you know, but that's okay. I don't mind throwing him some of my money because I really like what he's created. So, anyway, that's just my latest insight on The God That Crawls, the dungeon that I've run for a couple different groups, and a little bit on what I think of so far with my experience with Lamentations Flame Princess. I'll do more videos on the subject in the future, and also, if you want to check out Chepe Le Pepe, over on the channel Fontron, has recently done a video titled, I think, My Life as a Muslim Elf or something like that. It was about his character that he played in my game. And he's given his personal thoughts on Lamentations Flame Princess and the OSR and stuff as well. So, yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the gaming table.